You want to see a pumpkin fly?
At the World Championship of Punkin Chunkin, medieval weapons of war and state-of-the-art firepower battle it out to see how far they can launch a pumpkin.
4,000 foot! That's a chunk, baby!
And for the 100-plus teams, Chunkin isn't a hobby, it's a year-round commitment.
I spend the majority of my waking hours thinking about how do you stay ahead of the competition.
I put in probably about 60 hours a week since about middle April. 30 October?
Yes, sir.
Oh, boy.
So Mike and I are going to take you around the country to meet the teams.
Let's do it again!
Oh, yeah.
And the machines.
Theoretically, we could break the sound barrier with a vegetable.
Looking to capture Punkin Chunkin glory.
That's more like it.
Hi, I'm Zach Selwyn.
And I'm Mike Sinisi.
And we're here in Bridgeville, Delaware, a small town with a population of roughly 1,400 people that's known for its farms, its tree-lined streets, and its scrapple. Every November, however, it becomes host to the Punkin Chunkin World Championship.
Backyard engineers converge on this 800-acre farm with an arsenal of heavy-duty firepower.
Their ammunition? 1 8 to 10-pound pumpkin.
Their goal, to launch, blast, throw, or hurl this pumpkin further than anyone else. And as long as you don't use explosives, anything goes.
But before these competitors make it to the firing line, they must first perfect their prized chunkers. So Mike and I split up and hit the road.
Woo! So you're trying to take everybody out.
That's what I'm trying to do.
To see what it takes for a chunker to become a contender.
That thing is still going. That thing had a stewardess on it.
In just a few short months, these teams will be duking it out to take home this. The 7-foot-tall, 850-pound trophy awarded to the overall winner, the chunker that hits the farthest distance.
This is a champion trophy. This trophy is the Stanley Cup of Punkin Chunkin. You got it. They got to come and get it.
And right now, that trophy lives in Milton, Delaware, home to the 2008 World Champions, Young Glory 3. It's September. Punkin Chunkin 2009 is just 2 months away. And the Young Glory 3 team is pulling their gun out of storage to practice assembling their 60-foot-long barrel.
I'm Jake Burton, and this is my air cannon, Young Glory 3.
Jake is the first son of Punkin Chunkin. His dad, Chuck, is one of Punkin Chunkin's founding fathers.
We started back in 1986. We've had a great time doing it. It was just basically a challenge and a big party. Jake was basically born into Punkin Chunkin, and we just knew that he was going to be a champion.
Ever since I was little, I always wanted to be world champion. That was kind of the long-distance goal. When I started building Young Glory 3 when I was about 14, I just kind of started stepping away from everybody and kind of doing it on my own.
Young Glory 3 is a big gun, weighing in at 12.5 tons with a barrel reach of 60 feet.
We set our world record in 2008, 4,483 feet.
That's just 800 feet less than a mile. 2008 was the 14th straight year that an air cannon has taken home the overall trophy. So why do air cannons, like Young Glory 3, continue to dominate the mechanicals? It all comes down to pressurized air. Air cannons use compressors to jam everyday breathing air into specially designed tanks. When the air is released, it shoots through the barrel of the cannon, pushing out the pumpkin at speeds in excess of 600 miles per hour, faster than a commercial jet. The chunk might be months away, but Jake is ready to defend his title. And Young Glory 3 is already in fighting form.
This year we didn't really make a whole lot of changes. Rolling with last year's plan, we outshot the competition by right around 400 feet, so I don't see where anybody's going to sneak up on us this year. We're here to set world records, and we want to outshoot everybody.
But just down the road, there's a much smaller cannon out to prove that size doesn't matter. Meet Rick Garloff and Team Chunkinology.
I think when you get into the bigger machines, the owners are just trying to compensate for something that they lack somewhere else in their life.
Oh, yeah, Ralphie.
We are live! We are live!
At less than 6 feet tall and only 2,700 pounds, Chunkinology is a featherweight compared to Young Glory 3.
Their machine's just so small, but somehow it comes out and shoots far every year.
While we were building this machine, we actually had spies come to our shop. And one of the gentlemen made a comment. He says, "You're not going to shoot over 2,500 feet. Your tank's not big enough. Your barrel's not long enough. You're just going out there to play. You're not going out there to compete."
Team Captain Rick Garloff shows me how this scrappy cannon is able to run with the big dogs.
You know, you guys are definitely about half the size of some of your competitors. What is it about you guys that keeps you so small, but yet so ambitious?
We try to do it and do it right the first time. Attention to detail is what it is mainly.
Whatever Rick's doing, it's working. In 2008, Chunkinology became just the 7th team to join the exclusive 4,000 Foot Club.
4,000 Foot Club! The 4,000 Foot Club is any team that shoots a pumpkin over 4,000 feet. And indeed, last year we shot 4,042.24 feet. It's an elite club.
Rick's little gun packs a big punch.
This is a 500-gallon propane cylinder. It's been converted into a pumpkin chunking tank.
What are the average sizes for air cannon tanks?
Probably 1,000 gallons.
But Rick makes up for his volume deficit with an emphasis on quick air release.
We rely on flow. Being that our tank is so small, we have to get rid of that air as fast as possible.
Rick is working to perfect a hydraulic hair trigger, which empties his tank as quickly as possible through his 40-foot-long barrel. And this little cannon is gunning for the big prize.
We'd love to have that great big wooden trophy out in front of my building. Young Glory 3 sitting with the world record. We're only 400 some odd feet from him. It's not a whole lot of distance.
Chunkinology is itching to knock Young Glory 3 down a notch. And although the chunk is still 2 months away, it's never too early to settle a score. So today, these two rivals are getting together for some pre-chunk target practice.
All right, guys, here's how it works. Each team will fire shots at the camper. Whatever team hits the camper most wins.
Let's just tear some up. Come on, man, let's go. Let's go tear some up.
Or that. Chunkinology, you ready? Yeah. Young Glory, you ready? 3, 2, 1, fire! Woo! Nice shooting, Tech.
Yeah, that's right. Chunkinology got it done, baby.
That's what it's all about, baby. Firing Chunkinology pumpkins at an old camper. I live for this stuff. Oh! Wide right or wide left. Waste of a good pumpkin. I hope I didn't kill a deer or anything just now. Fire in the hole!
That was the money shot, baby.
This looks like a meth lab gone awry. Glass, wood, pumpkin, shrapnel all over the place. How fast were these pumpkins speeding at this camper?
We don't have a radar gun or anything, but approximately 500 miles per hour.
We're gonna have to give the title to you, especially for the destruction.
It'll take sloppy seconds.
Sloppy seconds.
Young Glory 3 may have won the shootout, but the real champion will be crowned on the firing line at the 2009 Chunk. Coming up, Mike joins forces with a mechanical machine that's looking to go mano a mano with the air cannons.
So you're trying to take everybody out.
That's what I'm trying to do. You don't want none of this. None of this.
Mike and I are on the road to Punkin Chunkin. We're checking in with backyard engineers from across the country to see what it takes to make a pumpkin fly. When Punkin Chunkin was in its infancy, medieval-style mechanical machines like catapults and trebuchets ruled the playing field. But then the air cannons entered the ring. And the guns have dominated ever since.
Historically, since they've come on the scene, they've held the world records.
I don't believe any other types of machines could win. As long as I'm out there, they're not going to beat me.
But this year, there's a team in the torsion division that's attempting to engineer what could be the greatest upset in Punkin Chunkin history.
The air cannons, they had their time. They're dinosaurs. Their time has come and gone.
Asbury, New Jersey is home to the bad boys of Punkin Chunkin. Team Chucky.
You know, we do like to cause a ruckus. You know, we run around with sledgehammers.
That's a ghost, baby!
But no one can argue with their results. In 2008, their machine Chucky 2 took torsion to a whole new level, hitting the torsion record distance of 3,091 feet.
We've broken the world record for every mechanical division. We've thrown farther than every trebuchet. We've thrown farther than every torsion catapult. We've thrown farther than every unlimited catapult ever.
With Chucky 2, we beat a quarter of the air cannons, and that leaves just 75% left.
Now, a normal team would have spent the offseason tweaking a record-setting machine. But Team Chucky is anything but normal. Mike's got to see these guys in person.
What is this beautiful piece of construction right here?
This is Chucky 3, the next generation.
You guys are champions with Chucky 2, and now you're building something new?
Well, I'm looking for the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail in this game is 1 mile.
1 mile. So you're trying to take everybody out.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Torsion catapults were first developed over 2,000 years ago by the Greeks and perfected by the Romans as a weapon of war. They discovered that twisted rope stores an incredible amount of potential energy in what's called a rope bundle. The catapult arm sticks straight up from the center of the bundle, which is racked back with a winch into firing position. When the pin is pulled, the arm snaps back into its original position, flinging the pumpkin. The 2009 Chunk is just 6 weeks away, and Team Chucky has only finished the frame. There's a lot more work to do, so Mike's been drafted.
Oh, you guys are strong. I'm not even doing nothing.
Yeah.
All right, now where's those bearings? Oh, there we go, there we go.
All right, this is a big moment. Team Chucky just got their throwing arm put into place. There'll be an 18.5-foot extension sticking off of the end of this. That's what whips those pumpkins to championship distances.
You don't want none of this. None of this.
Unlike ancient torsion machines, the throwing arm on Chucky 3 isn't placed in the twisted rope bundle, because Mark's added a twist of his own, which he believes corrects a major flaw in the conventional catapult. And he's made a model to demonstrate.
Unfortunately, there's some limitations to torsion machines. Our old machine, Chucky 2, is basically a Roman-style torsion machine.
Okay.
The arm goes parallel to the ground and ends up at about 45 degrees forward. You can't get much more stroke out of a torsion machine.
Okay, so you get 135 degrees of travel.
About 135 degrees. So what this does, by using 2 arms, one small arm that's in the bundle,
okay,
and a longer, lighter throwing arm that goes through more stroke, what this machine does is let us get 100 degrees more, 235 degrees of stroke.
This is actually a major innovation.
Absolutely. You just imagine if you went to throw a ball and only moved your arm this much, you're not going to throw it very far. You cock back farther, you could throw it farther. You really cock back and get more stroke out of it, you could throw farther.
And that way you get more speed and a further throw.
Because speed is what it's all about. 3, 2, 1, fire in the hole. You want some of that? Damn Skippy, baby.
I didn't even see this thing move.
Oh, yeah. It's too fast.
You've built yourself a death machine right here.
Well, you know what? No one's going to get hurt. Just some pumpkins and some of the feelings, and some of the air cannon teams. That's about it.
You're gunning for the air cannons?
Damn right.
If Chucky 3 is able to finish in time, they should have a lock on the Torsion Division trophy. But in Bridgeville, Delaware, there's one machine that year after year is almost guaranteed to come home a winner. Meet Bad to the Bone, a 40-foot-tall spinning monstrosity powered by a diesel truck, which has dominated the centrifugal division for 13 years.
Bad to the Bone is just insane. It is the most visually stunning machine to watch. It might not throw as far as air cannons, but as far as spectacles, outrageous. I love it.
It's round and round, building up speed, making a scary whistling noise, and then all of a sudden the pumpkin is gone and just flies off into the sky. A great machine.
Bad to the Bone is engineered to Punkin Chunkin perfection. Team leader Donnie Jefferson shows me what it means to be a dynasty.
Are you guaranteeing a victory right now? You Joe Namathing it?
Yeah, I'll guarantee it.
There it is, right there. You heard it. Bad to the Bone going for 14. Done.
It's just like Christmas. You know it's coming.
The centrifugal machines achieve distance by spinning around a fixed axis, faster and faster, building up kinetic energy. Special triggers ensure that the pumpkin is released with precise timing to achieve maximum distance. And it's the trigger mechanism that gives Bad to the Bone the competitive edge.
Now, what about the release point? Is there like a secret to how to release the pumpkin at the right time to make it fly properly?
After years of doing it, you figure out how to do it.
It's like your inside secret that every other team wants to know, by the way.
You don't let those secrets go.
Is there anything different about this machine this year that's going to make it go any further?
I think our philosophy is why change something if it ain't broke, you know what I mean?
And to demonstrate his dominance, Donnie agrees to give us a test fire.
When the horn blows, the pumpkin flies.
Now this is just for the cameras. Donnie hasn't needed a practice session in years.
Wow, that's how Punkin flies. Might that have hit the highway?
The pumpkin travels an estimated 1,000 feet.
That thing is still going. That thing had a stewardess on it.
And considering the machine was only cranked up halfway, Bad to the Bone is on the road to its 14th straight win. But 1,800 miles away, in Arvada, Colorado, there's a dark horse team looking to take down the Bad to the Bone dynasty and reinvent the entire centrifugal division in the process. Meet Greg Wolf and Team Inertia.
I don't think Bad to the Bone realizes that we even exist out here, but they will shortly.
There's only 6 weeks until Punkin Chunkin. And Greg's working on a top secret design, a radical update to the traditional centrifugal, which he calls Inertia 2.
Now what it is, it's never been done before. Shh, don't tell Bad to the Bone. But it is a centrifugal machine hybrid. All the other centrifugal machines, they hold the pumpkin at the end of the arm, they get it going, and then just release it. We're gonna do kind of the same thing, but instead of holding the pumpkin at the end, we hold it in the center of the axle.
When the arm reaches maximum spin, the pumpkin releases from the center, swinging out on a sling for an incredible boost of speed.
Now, about a year ago, I drew this. This is my original design with all of my numbers, feet per second. And if my calculations are correct, at 240 RPM, the pumpkin will leave the machine about 85 feet in the air, and it'll be doing 692 miles an hour. Theoretically, we could break the sound barrier with a vegetable.
For Greg, building Inertia isn't just a labor of love, it's a family affair.
My lovely bride, Diane, spent about 2.5 hours cutting every one of these at 45-degree angles.
It is a dirty job, and if you'll notice, these aren't really chopped fingernails. I've gotten really good at getting axe grease out from underneath them. You can do that.
I'm Michael Hughes. I'm Diane's son.
Just a big bunch of metal launching a pumpkin a mile. I'd say it's pretty cool.
Most of Greg's family and friends have been supportive of his wild dream, with one notable exception.
No, I've never seen anything like this before in my life. I've never even heard of anything like this in my life. I mean, who thinks of this kind of crap? This is cast aluminum, like a baby thing, like for a baby carriage. The boy's an idiot. That's it. He just is.
Today, Team Inertia is working towards a major milestone.
I'd say Dad's gonna have to buy a bigger shot.
Putting together the massive 28-foot throwing arm.
We need to put the tip of that arm the exact distance off the ground as the center of this axle.
Right.
And then, no matter what, they're straight.
Greg's fabricating his 1,200-pound arm out of mild steel pipe, which is incredibly strong and incredibly heavy.
By the way, for the record, this is probably one of the most crucial welds on this entire project. And according to my self-proclaimed engineering degree, that should hold.
The end result, a strong, perfectly balanced throwing arm. The arm is a big step in the completion of Inertia 2. If all goes as planned, they should be throwing within a week.
I think we're ready to set it up and spin it.
Coming up, with a month to go, there's a battle brewing in the Trebuchet division between cutting-edge design and raw power. And I get a tutorial on the mechanics behind catapults. We've got 4 weeks to go to the Punkin Chunkin World Championship, and we've seen some state-of-the-art firepower. But in Greenfield, New Hampshire, there's one throwback competitor in the Trebuchet division that wouldn't be out of place knocking down castle walls in medieval Europe. Meet Yankee Siege, the 5-time division champion, holder of the Trebuchet world record, 1,897 feet, and the largest competitor on the firing line.
Everyone wants to see Yankee Siege. That thing's a monster. It's outrageous.
It's a classic, big machine, huge weight, 12,000 pounds plus.
This is Yankee Siege. This is a 26-ton, 6-story high trebuchet.
At their core, trebuchets are like a giant lever with one end attached to a massive counterweight. When that counterweight drops, it flips the lever upward, flinging the pumpkin.
A trebuchet is an ancient siege machine. They would throw 200 to 300-pound boulders at a castle wall. There's certain basic parts to the machine. There's a winch system underneath the machine. That's a series of gears to pull down the arm, pull up the counterweight. This is the counterweight. It's just a giant box. In medieval times, they would fill it with sand or rocks. We decided that we wanted a little bit more concentrated, so we've partially filled the box with railroad track.
That box weighs 6 tons, about as much as 2 Hummers. For most of the year, Yankee Siege reigns over a 65-acre medieval-themed New Hampshire pumpkin farm. Chunkin boulders for tourists. Throwing boulders is for fun. But Steve is dead serious when it comes to the Punkin Chunkin competition.
We're very competitive. Won it 5 years in a row. Our competitors are coming up on us very quickly. They want the title. In order to stay competitive, we have had to change the throwing arm. Original arm, really too heavy for competition. Doesn't rotate quickly enough. It's all about speed at the tip. This is a new arm they just